Who's this?
That's Aaron.
Aaron? Okay, hi. Hi, Aaron.
Hey, hello, ladies.
Hey. What's going on, Aaron? Hey.
So my uncle, he's like old school and he's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He lent money to a cousin about 30 years ago, and I think it was like for bail, but he never got it back. So every year, the day he lent my cousin money, he sends him a certified letter asking for it back.
Oh, really?
Just a little reminder.
For 30 years, he's been asking.
30 years. This is like a family story we have. It's funny.
I love that.
Every year.
Do you know how much it was?
My mom always said it was like $5,000 ish.
Right.
About-ish, but we're all kind of crazy. I mean, he's crazy for sure, but
well, we're all a little crazy. Been in our fun, festive way.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
Damn.
it is. And the interest over after 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you charge your family interest? How does it work?
I have no idea. We actually haven't even seen this cousin in like forever, but it's funny because every year he always talks about it like a family get together.
I love that though.
This is before I've been born.
Here's the thing: if he ever paid the loan back, it would ruin the family story.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of boring now.
It's boring.
It would ruin the story. It would, honestly.
All right, Aaron. Thanks for calling. 30 years. Still owes the money. Have a great day. Okay.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Speaking of bailing people out of jail, when's the last time you bailed someone out of jail?
I never have.
Hey, I don't think I've ever done that.
Oh, but I did go with somebody who did bail somebody, but I
really?
didn't do the bailing.
Was
yeah.
it like a murder?
No, it was drunk driving.
Drunk driving. Yeah.
Have you ever had somebody call you from jail to bail them out, Elvis?
No.
No.
I never have.
Because you're like my person that I would call.
I wouldn't trust me with
Which
that.
I know is bad because you don't answer your phone ever.
And he kind of lives far from you, so you probably should call somebody that lives closer.
You need someone local.
Someone local.
Yeah, I'm going to call my wife. Do you know what that phone conversation is going to go like?
Just keep them.
I mean, guys, don't you have like the emergency go-to person in case you get arrested? I do.
Yeah.
I have. Well, I got to remind him. It's been years since I told him.
You wouldn't call Alex?
No, God, no.
No, you don't call your significant other.
No.
You don't want them to know, I
No,
guess.
I'm gonna immediately call an attorney.
Yeah.
Who's a friend of mine, so they can get the wheels turning fastest.
That's good.
Because you want to get out of there.
Yeah.
You want out. You don't want to be stuck there all night waiting for someone to call someone.
I'd call my dad.
Would you?
Yeah, because I know my dad, he wouldn't even care what I did. He would just come and get me.
Oh,
He wouldn't
little
ask-
sweetie.
He would.
Little sweetie. Yeah, you killed how many people? Okay. Drunk driving? No problem.
My daddy loves me.
You're my little kitten. What are you laughing at, straight now?
No, I've actually bailed somebody out of jail. It's not fun. You feel like a criminal going to jail to bail somebody out. They make you feel bad.
What did they do? Why were they in?
That was a hit and run.
Oh, my God.
I mean,
that's awful.
In the grand scheme of things, nobody got injured. There was property damage, but he left the scene of a crime, which is
okay. You ran into a car and then kept driving.
Yeah, they kept driving. He got pulled over and blah 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 blah. But
gotcha.
Yeah, the experience you go through to bail somebody out, and then talking to a bail bondsman. You talk about like used car salesmen. They are the used car salesmen of used car salesmen.
Well, that's not being very nice. We may have some listening to us right
I think what they do is a very valuable service, but there's so much wheeling and dealing going on when you talk to a bail bondsman.
Man.
Like you don't realize that you can actually make a deal with a bail bondsman.
Oh, you can?
Yeah. Yeah. Because what they do is they put up the entire bail amount.
Right.
But you're responsible for paying them a certain percentage.
Right.
And you can negotiate on that percentage, which I was successful at.
Like how much was bail for your friend?
$100,000.
Wow.
So what they do is they take 10%. You pay them 10% of whatever that bail is.
Right.
That you don't see ever again. But they'll put up the $100,000. So then I had to pay $10,000 to get my friend out of jail.
And so if your friend flees the country.
Yes. Then I lose the money, and then I'm responsible for the $100,000.
Oh.
Yeah.
God, this is so complicated.
Wow.
I didn't know that a life of crime was so difficult.
How would they make? Oh, because they get the money back once it goes to. Oh, okay,
exactly.
okay, gotcha.
I never knew. Wait, hold on. Brody, weren't you in jail once? You got bailed out of jail, remember that?
Yes, I did.
Tell them where.
I rented a car on Maui, or in Hawaii.
He went to Hawaiian jail.
And a guy cut me off, and I hit a state bridge. So when the rental car agency reported me, it's a crime to hit state property. They took me to jail, and I was in a tank with a homeless guy, like like winos and stuff. And my friend had to bail me out with traveler's checks. He had enough money to bail me out.
How much did it cost to get you out?
It was $100, but we never got that money back because we came home. So I jumped bail on Maui.
So you're wanted in Hawaii?
Yeah. Here's the best part. I took mugshots. It's not a criminal record. It's a traffic violation.
Right.
And after I took them, they called me back out of my cell and made me take them again. They said the first copy didn't come out right. This is before digital cameras. It turns out he got a copy of them as a joke. They gave him a copy, so my friend has a copy of my mugshot.
I'd like to see that.
Could he send that to us, please?
Thankfully, he lost them.
I didn't know we had so many jailbirds here on the show.
Jeez.
Scotty B went to jail.
No, I didn't. But one time I bailed a guy out of jail that was duct taped to a telephone pole right off the side of the highway.
Oh, that was Greg T.
Greg T.
Yeah. Yeah, where's Greg T? How come we're talking about jail and Greg T's nowhere to be found?
But that was
my
only
gosh.
$250.
But Greg, how many times has Greg T gone to jail on behalf of our show?
3, I believe.
Wow. T. Yeah, let's go for number 4. What can we do?
Let's get him in to the pokey. Hello, Michelle.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. So you bailed your ex-boyfriend out of jail?
Yeah, for $20,000.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Oh my! Well, now, what was he in for?
It was bad.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
See,
I could say
I
it.
don't know. There's a limit for me, like of what you could have done for me to get you out. Like if
Oh, really?
you murdered somebody, I'm not coming to get you. You're on
No,
your
it
own.
wasn't for murder.
Oh, it wasn't
It
murder.
wasn't for murder. It was for drugs. It was bad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all
I
right.
don't talk to him anymore.
Okay,
but,
let's. Okay, hold on. Well, hold on. So, Daniel,
Yeah.
let's say I get arrested. I
Yeah.
get pinched
Okay.
because
I love that term.
I'm selling marijuana.
Then I'd come get you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if it was like opioids, you'd leave me in.
Yeah, I'll probably leave you there.
All right. So you have. So you have.
I have a
so
limit.
marijuana is less of a crime to you than
Yes.
like pills and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, what if you shoplift? I'm gonna get you out.
Oh, thank you. That's good. That's not too bad. If I kill someone, I'm guessing you're leaving me there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Michelle, I mean, so you bailed him. You got it. What would you do? Just let him sit there all night, Michelle? I mean, did you consider just letting him stay?
No, I let him sit there for like 5 days.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's a lot of money to come up with.
Well, I know it is a lot of money.
It takes
when
a
I
while.
was giving the money to the lady and she was putting it in the machine, she goes, "Are you sure you want to do this?" I'm like, I think so.
Oh, well.
I seemed really nervous, but I got it back.
Yeah, okay,
So
you
it was
good.
kind of like
You're good.
I put my money in a bank and it just sat there because you don't really gain interest anyway.
Right. I might as well just bail people out of jail. All right, Michelle. Well, thank you for sharing. And we must remind everyone this is her ex-boyfriend.
Yes.
No longer
There's
with
a
us. guys.
reason
Yeah,
why.
yeah, I'm married now, moved on. Don't talk to him anymore.
All right, Michelle. Thanks for
Sorry,
listening to
Dom.
us. Have a good day,
Okay,
okay? All right.
bye.
Bye.
I did date someone whose father was in prison and he had the bracelet around his ankle. So he was a home arrest at that point.
Right.
They let him out. And I asked a lot of questions and then found out it was a really big case that was on front page news.
Whoops.
Yeah. I was like, so, okay. And then my mother was like, do you see what's going on in the family that you're dating? Oh, it was issues. He
Yeah.
had issues.
Oh, I bet. I bet your mom was so proud of you.
She was not happy.
Hey, speaking of the jailbird, there's Greg T.
T.
Now, Greg T, you've been on behalf of our show. You've been locked up in a jail, or you just sat in the waiting room.
No, 4 times. Yeah,
Oh,
I've
four
been,
times.
Wow.
been locked up. That's correct. Yes, but never overnight. Like I never did like an overnight stay at any of these nice facilities.
What's the longest we had you in?
It was just a couple of hours, really. I think because what happens is like, I usually get out in the afternoon.
Is that the magic hour for you?
way
In time for happy hour.
Yeah, the way I remember it was I would go out and do something on 4 different occasions.
Well, let's talk about that. Okay, what?
So when I got arrested in Staten Island, that was the worst one because they were really tough on me,
What did you do?
Well, that was the one where the McDonald's had the sign. It said no shoes, no shirt, no
shoes, no shirt, no service. Right.
And then we wanted to test it. Can I get served with no pants?
Right.
So I walked in there with just tighty whities on.
Right.
And we had a hidden microphone. And then I ordered my food. But what happened was somebody ran out and hailed a police officer. Somebody from the 120 precinct came in. But the thing was that they didn't realize the girl behind the counter had already recognized me as Greg T, and they were laughing about it. So there was no harm.
So what was the charge?
Yeah, so then, they always get you for disorderly conduct because there's
He knows. No, he knows.
yeah, because there's really no law.
Quote, they always get you for disorderly conduct.
That's how they always got you.
Well,
That's
because
the norm.
All right, so okay,
There's
so
no law that says you really can't go to McDonald's with your underwear on. There's
Okay.
no law.
No, I don't know that
So-
law.
But you're not supposed to, So they just get you for disorderly conduct. But when the officer grabbed me,
That's just understood law.
okay, go ahead. The officer grabbed you.
So he chicken winged my left arm to like the back of my head,
Right.
and then he slammed me on the hood of the car, you know.
Right.
And my right arm,
like Tommy Lee Jones does in all of his movies.
yeah, and then my right arm was wailing in the air as my head and everything was pounding on the car.
Right.
And then Scotty B wouldn't get out of the car. He was filming the whole thing.
Oh, we have it on video?
Well, no, it got stolen. Scotty got robbed a couple of years later.
What?
Yeah, it's a long story. It's very complicated.
Okay, so the second. Okay, we got to hurry here. The second time you were pinched and sent to the clink.
So then they take your shoelaces, they take your wallet,
No.
they take all your
The
stuff.
next time you were arrested was where?
Oh yeah, then it was a Carteret in Carteret, New Jersey.
Why were you arrested there?
That was the one where Scotty B duct taped me to the telephone pole 7 feet in the air.
Okay.
We caused traffic for miles.
Yeah,
Remember
it was
that
a
one?
big problem. And so was that disorderly conduct?
Yes, because again, there's no law saying you can't climb on telephone poles, but you're not supposed to. You know.
Okay. The third time.
Or tape yourself to them.
The third time
Right.
you were arrested was where?
That was in Lake Success, Long Island.
Right.
That's where you guys had me running down the LIE, the Long Island Expressway, in my Captain America underwear.
Right.
With a 6-foot Z100 flag.
That's right.
Right. You guys were playing Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA.
Yes, we were.
I'm running down the highway yelling, listen to Elvis Duran in the morning show.
And it worked. We had huge rating success.
That one, they got me on both ends. The police came from Nassau County Police. They came on foot and on car, and then they couldn't get the phone off my face because we had a duct tape to my head.
Yes.
You know, because we didn't have like wireless. You know?
No, we had the phone duct taped to his head.
The sirens, and they took me into Lake Success, Long Island, and that was a nice holding cell. They had like a padded chair and stuff.
Oh, good.
Finger food.
But they did handcuff me to the wall, so like the blood was like running through my arm, like I was like dying, and my arm was like numb.
Okay,
you know?
the fourth time you were arrested was?
That was at Martha Stewart's house.
Right.
Now, the funny thing about being arrested at Martha Stewart's house in Westport, Connecticut, was like they didn't really want to like cause a big stir, so they kind of read me and Scotty B our rights right there at her house, and then they wrote us the disorderly conduct, no trespassing.
Oh, so you didn't go to jail then?
That one, they didn't take us to jail.
So you've only been to jail 3 times for us.
In the actual jail cell 3 times.
Now,
And
what?
in 3 states, too.
Yeah, 3 different states. Yeah.
Is this all on his records, or
No.
after a certain amount of time?
I don't know.
What happened?
So the way that the attorneys explained it to me and everything was that disorderly conduct doesn't really stay on your record per se. So like what happens is if you get pulled over and like in these towns, your name will come up, but it's not like for like robbery or anything. So like you're good.
Okay, so you're good.
But the guy in Staten Island told me. He said, you're lucky you got arrested now. He goes, because the whole entire cell was filled with like drunken idiots and robberies and whatever, and they just got carted off to court now. So I walked into a clean cell with a clean toilet, and that was the end of it.
Oh, good.
It was like me.
It was your lucky day on Staten Island.
Yeah.
Hey, how do you spell per se?
Per se?
Yes.
Per se would be, I don't know, P-E-R. S-A-Y.
Oh, wow. Okay, thank you.
I mean, it's obvious. It's per se.
Greg T.
So there you go.
You know, Scary went to jail.
Yeah.
That was a good
remember
one.
that.
So Steve Kingston was our program director, right? And he had these Devil Stanley Cup tickets, and he sent you to his house to get them.
That's right. This guy, Sam Milkman, was supposed to grab the tickets from me because he accidentally left them on the kitchen table inside. So he instructed me to break a panel of glass in the house.
Yeah, so
go in and
Scary broke into the Kingston house.
broke in, gave Sam the tickets. He took off, and I was cleaning up the glass because Steve had a little kid at the time.
Yeah.
Well, just as I'm cleaning up the glass, all of a sudden I come around the outside of the house, and there's the suburban Upper Montclair police sitting there saying, "Excuse me, what are you doing around these parts with your New York license plates?"
All right, so they threw him behind bars in Montclair.
Yes, and then finally it took the voice guy of Z100, Dave Fox, to clear my good name, saying, yes, he actually is a guy who works for us, and yes, that is something that Steve Kingston would ask.
Okay.
So
So you actually did break into the guy's house.
I broke in because he asked me to, but he gave me the wrong passcode to shut the damn alarm off. So they called the police.
That was fun. I remember that day.
It was not a good day.
Scary's in jail. Yeah,
oh
my
gosh.
And I stood there for 5 hours.
I can tell you, I've never really hung out with people who've been to jail except for the people I work with.
Me too.
I will say, I always thought the back of the cop cars are comfortable, but they're not.
No, they're not.
When they throw you in the
Froggy,
back
how do you
there-
know that?
Because I went to jail once too.
No, Froggy, why'd you go to jail?
For vandalism.
Frog.
Froggy.
Now, how long ago was this?
I was a senior in high school.
And what did you vandal?
Well, we were playing another school in homecoming that night, and so we went over to their school to toilet paper their school and like defaced their field, and the cops were waiting on us when we got there. So they waited for us to start, and then they took us in the cars. They took 16 of us to jail at one time.
And you didn't find that very comfortable in the back seat?
No, it was not comfortable at all. It was bad.
Is this Irene?
Yes.
So, Irene, have you been to jail, or someone you know used to go to jail?
Someone I know that I worked with, there was a bunch of us that used to work in the hospital on second shift, and we'd all go down, this is in Arizona, down to the escape hatch after work. And this is, midnight. And we were all drinking, having fun. Then we decided we're going to carry on the party over at someone else's apartment. So we all caravan down the freeway. Cops come out of every corner, and they pull everyone over except me. I hid. And, I hid. I was like, hands at 2 and 10 or 10 and 2. But my friend, he got arrested and got hauled off to jail. None of us knew this except the one that was driving, because he wasn't even driving. He was being a good guy, like, I'm not going to drive, someone will drive me. So the next day, and I was a secretary in the OR at the time, I go to work, and everyone's like, well, where's Joey? Where's Joey? I'm like, I don't know. I get a call. His one call. He's in jail. He's calling in sick from jail, and he's like, don't tell anyone I'm in jail. Because he didn't want to lose his job.
Oh, my
so
gosh.
I'm like, holy crap. Like, what the hell? He's like, I got to go. I can't be on the phone.
Why? How long did he stay in jail?
He was in for 24 hours.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So, but he missed a day of work because, he was in jail. And
Look,
so
it's kind of funny.
Call.
Irene, every phone line is ringing because everyone has their jail stories. I feel so dirty.
I know.
I wonder if we have more prisoners listening to us than any other radio show.
That's probably. You guys are popular, man.
Yeah, we are. They love us in prison. We do
They do.
We do get mail from prisoners every once in a
Every now
while.
and then.
Irene, thank you for listening, and let's not drink and drive. Let's be safe.
careful.
Let's be careful out there.
Love you guys. Love you
too.
guys.
All right, thanks for listening. People going to jail, going to the pokey.